everyone, welcome back to JB's Budget Collecting and another episode of Cash or Trash, where we look at the hot comics of this past week and make predictions sure to go wrong. And always by we, I mean myself and my man, Circumstances. Marcus, what is going on, sir?
I'm excited to get into the list this week. We got some of my favorites, so I'm ready
got some good books that you're excited about. That is good. That is good. I will apologize in advance. My internet is doing.
I'm looking at it live. It looks like it's actually me, not you.
Okay, well, I was having internet issues. Maybe Marcus is having internet issues. Either way, we're gonna go for it. We have my man GT Key in here tailgating early. What's going on, sir? Gordon was here early, ready to go, as was Burklar. What is happening? Turn my house into a library. I'm working on it. That's not a joke. So I'm going to live with my books. I'm going to be happy. And cut myself off from all other human interaction. That is my goal. That's my retirement. Some guy named Circumstances in here. What is going on? No, you're much clearer now. Deep House, what is happening, sir? Glad to see you. We got channel member Monty Ray in the house. What is going on? My visit to Arrowhead was a good time. We kicked those Lions' butts. I enjoyed the heck out of it. It's always good. My sister and I try to go to a game a year. Or the last few years, we started going to try to go to one game a year. It's kind of our excuse to get together. She comes down, we get to a game, so it was always a good time. Go, what is going on? Glad to see you. So this is Cash or Trash for Marcus and I. I do my video on Saturdays where I look back at hot comics from 6 months ago and see how they did in the market for 6 months later. This is the video where I look at the books of this past week and make kind of predictions for 6 months from now and more longer term, just our thoughts on some books. Marcus is pimping Comics Curing Cancer that is coming up on the 24th and 25th. Is that right?
It's across multiple channels. I know John's Comics with Friends is a big part of it. Legion of Comics, a big part of it. Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics, a big part of it. And, of course, DJ Links and then a number of other homies are going to be involved in that. So if you got some money to spend and you want to spend it on some cool stuff, why not do it and get a tax write-off while you're doing it?
Why not do it and donate to cancer? All the money goes straight to the American Cancer Society. Rob and ships all those books out. None of that gets charged to you. He's taking care of all of that to raise money for cancer. It's an amazing thing that they do. So definitely donate if you can. Go buy some stuff to donate. You get cool comics out of donating for cancer research. So get it done. I'll talk about that some more. I'm trying to remember to talk about that on every video coming up for the next couple of weeks because that is coming up rapidly. Gordon saying no, a public library. No, Gordon. It's going to be a members only library, and the members will be me. That's how that's going to work. I hate to tell you, there'll be one member to my library when I get done. So, my man Dave Maris is in here. What is going on? We had He Who Remains showing up. What is happening? Well, we got 20 books to get through because they had no overlap this week on the list. So Marcus and I are going to get started because otherwise we'll be here for who knows how long. So let's pull this up. Let's make it just a little bigger. Nope, that's not the one I want. That's the one I want. We are starting with Afterlife with Archie on the list for the second week in a row. Basically, there's supposed to be a Disney Plus special coming here. They're taking this kind of horror part of the Archie thing and bringing it to a special. Last week it was 15 to 35. This week it's 20 to 40. So a slight creep up in raw copies. No real change. No real 9.8 sales to change the value. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm not really the guy for this one. So this is I have to say I'll be back on this one. There's a lot of Archie hype, and I guess people still buy it, in the grocery store. And I didn't. Oh, yeah. I was reading about this online recently that Archie is very much still a thing that people are into. So I'll be back on this thing. But if you're into it, definitely wait 6 months, and I'm sure you can find some good deals.
Yeah, I think we're borderline getting into trap range at 20 to 40. But this book historically has had some value anyway, just because it was kind of a break from the typical Archie thing. People are interested in it. So it's always been kind of a 10, 15 kind of thing. But now we're getting up, so still put it as an I'll be back. But I agree with you here. Even if the special goes over well, like the odds of this maintaining anything is pretty slim.
Very solid.
Next, also on the list for the second week in a row, we got Simpsons comics and stories. Number one, because we're getting the second Simpsons movie after 20-some years, and I'm going to sneeze. But before I do, what do you think, Marcus, before I meet myself?
I am kind of excited. I grew up a Simpsons fan. I was a guy who watched Simpsons on the Tracy Ullman show, or I was a kid who watched it on the Tracy Ullman show. So I was there from Jump Street. I haven't actually watched the show in many, many years.
Me neither.
But I'm still excited to watch a movie because I know it's going to be relevant and I know it's going to be great. So I'm in on the hype for the movie, but I wouldn't run out and necessarily buy this book right away. I'd be patient on this one. But that said, same thing as I said before, 15 to 25 feels kind of cheap, and the lower end, why not? I kind of feel
it was the same price. I did forget to mention, because I was going to sneeze, that it was the same price as it was last week, even though it's on the list for the second week in a row. So
no way Jose on the
values didn't really move. So.
And the 9.8, it's a no way though. That's crazy.
All right, next we got our trailer for the next Game of Thrones World show that's coming, Dunk and Egg. This is told here in the comics when the Hedge Knight #1 is first appearance of these characters in comics from 2003. We got the trailer, $25 to $30. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on this one, but I'm kind of a poo-poo guy when it comes to Game of Thrones. That last season ruined everything for me, so I haven't watched anything post Game of Thrones, the House of Dragon, and all the other stuff. I wasn't interested in it, but I do feel like this is kind of a hard to get book. So the price makes sense, that it's so high, but I still feel like it's an I'll be back. I think you can be patient on this one personally, so I'm going to go I'll be back.
So my thing on the worth it was timing of when the show is actually coming out makes me think it's worth it. Not necessarily because it's like I think the show is going to take off. I just think the timing, if I have the timing right of when that show is actually supposed to release, even though we got the trailer, that it's probably still going to be holding this kind of value just because the show just came out. So just for a little clarification there, not longer term. Yes, I think it's an I'll be back if you go beyond like the 6-month thing. In terms of He Remains, the trailer looked like trash. Redo season 7 and 8. I hate to tell you this, but George doesn't know what to do with season 7 and 8 because he can't write the books. So they're not redoing season 7 and 8. Because even George doesn't know what to do. So.
I feel like George does know. The theory that I buy is that he did have an ending to this book, and it was the ending in the book or in the show.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
So
he's like, well, I don't know what to do now.
The TV show is basically the ending that he was headed, and now he doesn't know what to do. So
I believe that.
You can say redo them, but yeah, it's
I don't need. Happen. I just need the last season though.
I will be stunned if we ever get another book. I will be stunned. He Remains. But beside that, I actually really enjoy House of the Dragon. I think it stands on its own. I think it's really entertaining. I've enjoyed the heck out of that show. So I'll probably give this a chance, but I understand why lots of people walked away. So
10 years of my life, JP, dedicated to that show, obsessing over the theories, over the prophecies, over the chosen one, all for it to mean nothing, never again.
I get it. I said I get it, but well, there's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. He's counting a lot of them. So next we got Heavy Metal. Oh, I thought this was a better image. Okay, I'll have to find a better image later. But this is Heavy Metal #3. This is a magazine size with a retail price of $20, $19.99. This is the limited to 2000 Saveta Sabina cover. There's also a even more exclusive that was at NYCC where she's topless. But this Sabina has become fairly popular. This one's going for $20 to $40. So basically cover price to about double cover price. But it is a magazine, limited 2,000. Your thoughts here, Marcus?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going cover price, fine. My understanding is that you can. I think they said it in the video, right? You can still go to Heavy Metal and buy this. You can even get the topless one direct from Heavy Metal, so it's not sold out or anything.
No, it's not.
So you don't have to be playing games on the secondary market with this one. So if you're going direct, I say whatever. But if you're playing one of these marked up prices, it doesn't make sense because you could just go play cover.
Yeah. Hey, Kenneth Bird, what's going on? Yeah, the topless one is $50. I will say, like initially when all these Savetta Sabina covers started coming out, I was like, I don't know that I get it, but they have grown on me a little bit.
I love this one. I love
Yeah,
it.
I mean, this is a solid one. I'm not going to collect magazines, so I don't have any particular interest in that one. But yeah, but I get why people would do it. He remained saying trap, and I just drug my. I'm having issues here. Next, we got more Sabina. This is Disavowed #1, the 1 in 25. Only 3 sales, but averaging on those 3 sales $140. Holy moly. This is probably a very low print book. I took a shot on this one because they're basically talking about the numbers that this might actually end up staying in this range when we come back in 6 months. This is the kind of cover that has done that. I don't know anything about this Disavowed series, but your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, that's the question. Is the cover enough to drive it if there's no drive for the actual book? Which I'm guessing there probably won't be drive for the actual book. So I respect this shot. This is worth taking a shot on, but I'm going to play it safe myself. I'm going to go. I'll be back. But it is doing the numbers you want to see for a 1 in 25.
Yeah, I mean, you're a 1 in 25 that's up toward pushing up toward $150. That's, that usually is a very good sign. Doesn't mean it will be in this case. Of the 2 covers, I actually like this one better. Of the 2 Sabina covers that we're talking about here. But yeah, I don't know that anything about Disavowed, so I don't know that I would want it. I just think I do think this is the better of the 2. So, for me. He's saying Disavowed the 1 in 15 is better. So there you go. I have not seen that. There you go. Saying sexy as hell. There you go. So he knows a little bit about this. I don't know much about anything about the series.
Yeah, I do like
any other thoughts on this one, Marcus?
Yeah, I get it. I like it. I wouldn't, pay this price for it, but I do get it.
All right. We're going to keep moving. Next, we got a book that Marcus despises. He told me he didn't want to talk about this, so I'm going to just mute him so he doesn't have to talk about it. So hang on, let me just mute. So Marcus can't talk about this because he does not like this book at all. He told me this book was awful. No one should read it. No one should collect it. This is Bug Wars #1. They didn't really have a reason for it to hit the list. It was still going basically for cover price. But a 200% increase in sales with kind of the announcement that it will be back after it's currently on hiatus. They had this first arc, went on hiatus. It's going to be back. So I guess I'll let Marcus say something. I know he doesn't want to. He just doesn't like this book at all. But Marcus, try to be somewhat nice.
Straight cash, homie. Go get this book right now. Don't get it for the speculation, though. Get it for the read. If you love A Honey, I Shrunk the Kids meets this kind of adventure, this Stranger Things adventure world kind of feeling, I think you should absolutely buy this book. I adore this book. I love what Jason Aaron is building here, and I'm 1,000% plugged in on it. I think you should absolutely go get this book, and for cover price, there's no reason why you shouldn't buy this. If I find this anywhere for $5, I have 6 copies of this, and if I find another one for $5, I promise you I will buy it. I love and adore this book. I think it has a bright, bright future. Straight cash, homie. Let's go.
Well, I mean, at $5 at cover price, you really can't go wrong. So this is obviously, I mean, it's basic, the basic price. I will say they talked about that the was that sarcasm? Yes, mine was.
No, sarcasm. It was not sarcasm.
Mine was sarcasm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I love this book.
So I will say they were talking about the trade is out or about to come out. So there's a great way to read it if you don't want to necessarily invest in the issues. But yeah, for sure, that is a book. I have not read it. I have heard good things from not just you in terms of the read. And if you're investing at cover price, there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Yeah. So, I think I Shrunk the Kids meets Mad Max. Female trying to cover still down. I looked earlier. Yeah.
I don't know about chasing reprints. I don't know if that's something is killing the children kind of vibes, or a future where, all the first issues and all the reprints are going to go crazy. I don't think it's that level, but I do think it's a great and fun book that if you give it a chance, you're going to love it and you're going to plug in.
All right. Next, we're going to keep moving. We got a little Punisher Red Band #1. So apparently this is just all out graphic, violent Punisher story. Number 2 is coming out, which is why people are going back, I guess, and buying number 1. $12 to $15 on this thing. So people want pure blood and guts, graphic on the page, but they're still bleeping out the curse words. So I don't know. I don't know what that's about. But Russ and Ryan were laughing about that. But your thoughts on this one? I put this as an I'll be back. I don't see this as being like a game changer just because, you get to see the bullet wounds. So
yeah, this will be one of those that you find easy 6 months now. I don't think the hype maintains for this one. But that said, the art on the cover makes me want to see the inside of this book. Like, that looks really good to me. So I kind of feel FOMO for this book, but I will say I'll be back.
Are you saying that the shell casings don't match the gun there, Clint? Shocking that they don't have that consistency.
Yeah, my dumbass would never catch something
Most
like
people
that.
wouldn't.
Huh?
Red Band PG, yes.
There's special guns. You guys don't understand.
You don't understand. He makes his own guns and it's his own
Yeah,
show.
you guys wouldn't understand Punisher stuff. Please.
Punisher actually kills criminals. Well, who knows? But all right, now we're moving into Absolute all the time. That's all we got for the next several books. We got Absolute Superman number 1 hitting the list. This one's still only doing 10 to 15, kind of like the Absolute Wonder Woman. It's doing a little bit of value, 9.885, but not a ton of value. But this is the reason this is back on the list is in the newest issue we've gotten a teaser for the Absolute Luthor, so we know he's coming to the story. So that's why this is kind of back on the list. This has probably been the cheaper of the 3 consistently of the Batman, Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman, but it and the Wonder Woman are very close. Your thoughts here, Marcus?
Yeah, I don't get why this one isn't getting as much buzz as Batman. I don't know why Wonder Woman isn't getting as much buzz. I get why Martian Manhunter isn't getting as much buzz, but I do love Martian Manhunter. So I feel like this is a great time to read these books, not necessarily for the spec, but just to be plugged in on the Absolute universe that they're building. Because to me, it feels like this is something that could eventually happen where we're rebooting the DCU to try to do what they're building here. So I think this has a future. The prices right now, though, I think you can be patient on it and find a better price than, and I'm always looking at the raw prices, guys, but 10 to 15, I think if you're patient, you're looking for bargaining deals, you're at a con, you could probably find a better deal than that if you're patient. But I do think if you're not plugged in on the Absolute stuff, you should give it a try.
Yeah.
Many people say this is the best one. You know, real quick, I'm sorry, but Batman's the most popular, but I've heard a lot of people say this is the best one.
Now, I never read this one. Superman's not usually my jam necessarily. Like, I don't dislike, but it's not usually something I try to read. I've loved Absolute Wonder Woman. I've thought it's been really good. I tried Absolute Batman, and I couldn't stand it.
I don't really like it.
So, I did not like it at all. But it is like the super popular book people are going nuts over it. So I don't get it. I'm not a huge Snyder fan. Like, I like the Court of Owls stuff, but since then, anything he's written Batman, I have not particularly liked. So whatever. But yeah, people seem to love it, and that's all we're going to talk about for like the next 4 books. We got number 6. No real reason this particular one, other than it's going for 10 to 15 or $10 to $25. I'm just going to go through a couple of these. If you know something about one of them that makes it more than number 8, where we get the Absolute Mr. Freeze here and the prelude to the Bane storyline, also going for $10 to $25. We got number 10, which is the origin of Bane, going for $15 to $25. And then we got number 12, which you get the cameo of Absolute Catwoman that comes. She appears fully in 13. You're getting a cameo here. And this one is going for $5 to $10, so a little cheaper on this one on the I'll Be Back. So your thoughts, we can talk about any of them if you want to talk about one particularly, Marcus, but I kind of just threw them all in here because they're all basically going for the same thing, about double to $10 to $20 basically for all of these. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting phenomenon, the buzz around Absolute Batman compared to the other ones. Because when I talk to my peers who are reading it, most of them are picking a different book as their favorite book. Not,
Yeah.
some people like Absolute Batman. Some people don't like it, but the majority of the people I've seen feel like they're picking another book. So that makes me wonder, who's the audience that's going for this? We were talking about this the other day, and
I
I
mean,
was like,
it's selling. It's like the highest selling book right now. Like
yeah.
in terms of order numbers, it's like the book.
I wonder if kids are buying it because it does have the kind of like bringing back the Rob Liefeld '90s vibe to it. Would you agree with that? I don't know.
I mean, it's over the top '90s art. Like
Yeah.
the Nick Dragetta,
Yeah.
which I really liked his art on. I love his art on East of West. I think it fits. It works really well. I initially thought I would like it on Batman. I did not. Like I don't like the style that we're getting here, but I am clearly in the minority on this book. This is like everyone else seems to like it a lot more than I do. So,
yeah, the prices are getting to a point where I have the run and I'm tempted to sell it. It's like it's going for this much. Like I feel like I can get it cheaper later.
To sell the whole run, you could probably get a pretty decent markup to to do the whole thing. So
yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to jump off. I'm in on the Absolute stuff, so I wouldn't sell anyway. But it's tempting with these prices. I'm not a flipper, unfortunately. I like to dream about it, but that West Coast Avengers 35, I didn't sell a single one of those.
You only had 27 of them. All right, we're gonna move along from Absolute Batman. We got a little Avengers Annual number 10, first appearance of Rogue, and this was hitting the list because we got some of the out of New York Comic Con. We've gotten a bunch of like announcement for new books that are coming in the spring, and we're getting a new Rogue centric book coming this spring. So that was kind of why they were justifying being on the list. 75 to 125 for raw copies, 9.8 for 11. It seems super cheap to me. Like maybe I haven't looked at this one for a while, but I feel like that's down from where the last time I'd seen it. So I put this as a worth it. I mean, I just feel like this book is so undervalued because people look at this cover and go, ugh. But otherwise, it would be worth way more than this if it was a different cover. But your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. I think if Rogue is on the cover, this is a marquee, Uncanny X-Men 266 level kind of book, but the fact that she's not, it does seem to be a forgotten book. Maybe people don't really understand that this is Rogue's first appearance. I don't know. I own this one, so I'm proud. I'm killing it this week. Thanks to Absolute Batman, I got like 7 of them, so that's cool. But I think if you want this book, it's a steal at these prices. I think
it is too. I'm tempted myself to start looking for one of these, even though it's on the list. That it's like I feel like, man, I didn't realize this book could come down this much.
Because there's certain characters.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I was just saying there's certain characters they're just locked in, and Rogue is absolutely one of them. So this book is always going to have relevance. There's no reason not to go get it at these prices if you're wanting it.
All right, we're going to keep moving. Let's see. We still got a bunch of books left. Second week in a row, we got Superman versus Amazing Spider-Man. We got that Batman Deadpool book out. This is the first Marvel DC crossover. This was weird. Tom and them put it as an average of like 325. I was like, wow, that's way up from last week, even though like the spread on sales last week was like 30 to 400. The spread currently is 40 to 400, but most of the sales are like 150 and less. I don't know where they got an average of 325. That doesn't there's only a couple copies that are up like toward that high end. I guess if you want a really, really nice one, then yeah, you might pay that much. But there's a lot of sales that are 60, 40, 100, 80, like there's a 170, there's a 275, but there's a lot more 60, 90, 50, $70 sales. So I don't know where they got their average. So I put it back as the 40 to 400. But your thoughts, Marcus, on this one?
Meh. I'm going. Yeah, I'm going with meh. I don't care about this crossover stuff. So yeah, meh for me. Whatever you want to do, go do it.
I mean, it's a cool treasury-sized book, but it's also a treasury-sized book, which means you got to make special accommodations to even store the damn thing. So that's why I've never bought any treasuries, because I'm just like, eh. But I mean, I get why people like it, but I would not overpay for it for sure. Not because they're doing a crossover again. I wouldn't be paying premium for this. All right, next we got little Batman 497, the breaking of the bat, and that was we got an announcement at NYCC that there's going to be like they've done a bunch of these animated DC movies where they've done different Batman storylines over the years. They've done Hush, they've done Dark Knight, they've done Year One, and now they're going to do a Nightfall adaptation on an animated movie. Really hasn't changed the value here. Raw copies 15, 9.8, 60 to 90. That's about where this book sets. They showed the newsstand, but they didn't specifically talk about the newsstand. So I just put but usually the newsstand goes for slightly more than the one with the black half like fold over cover. But your thoughts, Marcus?
I'm gonna go worth it on this one. I think these prices are. I know. There's plenty of copies, so probably supply driving the price down on this one. But a super affordable key that I don't have in my collection, and I want in my collection, and I would pay both the raw and the CGC 9.8 prices for this book. I would personally. So I'm saying worth it because I would pay it.
This would be a private library, Gordon. Private. Now they're talking about making it multiple. Ryan suggested that they weren't specific, but they implied that it would be a multi-part thing, so that you're probably going to get like just like Nightfall is kind of a Nightfall, Night Quest, Night's End, or whatever. That you're probably going to get something like that. That it'll be multiple movies instead of just one. So, all right, next. We got Booster Gold, number 1 from 1986, first appearance of Booster Gold. And this is just basically fan speculation. People want James Gunn to add Booster Gold to the DC universe. There's been no new announcement here, no new information about this coming at any point. $50 for raw copy, 9.8, 350. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I think this is good spec in terms of trying to stash it away as a rainy day kind of thing. I think this is good spec. I think there's enough buzz around Booster Gold to think that at some point they're going to take a shot on a character like this, maybe give it to Chris Pratt or something like that. So I think it has a future, but definitely you don't want to do it now when it's buzzing. You want to wait till nobody's talking about it. So I'll be back for me.
Yeah, I mean, ow, that is shots fired at Booster Gold.
That's crazy. Tosin fell off a cliff, man.
Tosin, I didn't know he still exists.
That fell off.
Bring Tosin to the market. He's in the comics now. That's right. All right, next. Another character we know we're getting more of. This was on the list last week what was it last week as compared to this week? Yeah, last week it was $20, 9.880. This week it's 15 to 25, 9.880. So same value, but they put it on the list 2 weeks in a row. Mr. Terrific Year One. This came out just this year, kind of retelling his origin. You and I both put this as an I'll be back last week. It's still the same value. Any changes in your thoughts?
No, same thing I said last week. See last week, same thing.
Yeah. He stole every scene he was in. He did a great job with Mr. Terrific in that movie. I agree.
Bright future for sure.
Yeah. All right, next. So we're into, I guess I said, spoilers for the finale of Peacemaker. So I have not seen the finale. Basically, Salvation Run number 1. And I guess Salvation is a prison planet for metas. And basically it's hinted at that this might be something that comes up in James Gunn's DCU in the finale of Peacemaker.
It does.
So a potential storyline is what's going on here. $5 to $12. Your thoughts, Marcus?
This is a dumpster fire. I mean, you can't go dumpster fire at this price. So I'll be back. But it's a cool book to have.
At this price. If you think it's stupid, I have gone dumpster fire at these prices.
Yeah, I think it's stupid. I think this is a cool book. I kind of want this book for stupid reasons, just to throw away. But I don't think books like this, first appearance of some world, it doesn't really matter. It's the characters that really matter, first appearances of them. So for that reason, it's not spec that really has long lasting value.
Next, we got Action Comics number 598. first appearance of Checkmate, and basically the implication is that Checkmate is probably coming, which is also kind of a group that is kind of a like,
they do come.
yeah, it's kind of like an Argus kind of thing. I don't know a ton about Checkmate, but yeah, that's basically set up in the finale of Peacemaker as well.
Yeah.
$5 to $22, 9.8, 160. Any thoughts on this one, Marcus?
I'm gonna, for the raw prices, I'm gonna say worth it for this one. I feel it's kind of a cheap book. It's an older book. There's probably plenty of copies of this book, maybe not in the best grades, but at that price, I would pay that for $5 to $22.
Yeah,
I would push more towards the lower end, more like $10.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting this for if you're finding a nice copy of this for $5-10, okay, I would not be trying to pay $20 for this.
Nah, that's a bit much. I agree, that's a bit much, but I do want this one. Absolutely. I am a huge fan of Peacemaker in season 2. I love everybody hated the finale, I guess. I loved the finale. I thought it was great. I thought it was beautiful. I was in my feelings all throughout the finale, and I am so very excited for Superman and what's next. So I'm in on this one, and I want this book.
All right. And then the last book this week is Peacemaker #1 from 1988. First appearance of Wolfgang Schmidt, Peacemaker's dad, who was obviously back in this season after he was, Aversion was back in the season after he was killed in season 1, but $3 to $10, 9.8, $100. And for reference, when season 1 was coming out, $500 for 9.8 on this book. Now in season 2, it's $100, just to give you an idea of how crazy the speculation was a few years ago compared to now on some of these characters. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I don't really feel like this is the spec book to really go after in terms of Peacemaker, so it's kind of a meh. But at the low end price, $3 to $5, I'd take a shot at it just to have it in my collection. But I don't think that this is the book. And when I think Peacemaker's got a bright future, but I don't think this is the book that people go after.
Yeah. All right, that is this week's list. Before we get out of here, I need to shout out my channel members real quick. Big thank you to all of them. Cheers to you from myself and Old Wolf there. So thank you to all my channel members. Marcus, you got anything? We pitched Comic Curing Cancer earlier, but you got anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
That's it. Just check out Jom's Comics with Friends, DJ Links, Legion of Comics, Rob's Fat Stacks, and all the other great channels that are pushing that.
I agree. Definitely check it out. Coming up later this month, lots of crazy stuff that they're selling and giving away, and that you can buy and support a wonderful cause. So please do that if you can participate. With that, Marcus and I are going to get out of here. We will catch you next time. Later.